As I sit here writing down my terrifying experience, I can still feel the chill run down my spine. My name is John Smith, and for years I had been employed by the small rural town of Elmwood as their sole gravedigger. I was used to digging graves during daylight hours, but recently, due to budget cuts, I had been forced to take on additional responsibilities, namely preparing the bodies before burial and maintaining the cemetery grounds at nightfall. And so, one fateful night, I found myself trudging through the dark and eerie forest path towards the old cemetery where I would spend my evening tending to duties. It wasn't until later that night that strange events began to unfold before me. As the clock struck 12, I noticed a peculiar glow coming from one of the mausoleums located near the entrance of the cemetery. Initially thinking it must have been some kind of prankster playing tricks with flashlights, I decided to investigate nonetheless, only to find no signs of any life inside. Suddenly, everything turned pitch black, and I could hear a sinister laugh echoing in the distance. Frightened beyond belief, I frantically searched for my lantern, hoping that its light would provide comfort and safety against whatever evil lurked there. But just then, a cold breeze swept past me, causing the flames to flicker rapidly. Before long, all signs of life were swallowed up by complete darkness once more. An unexplainable fear overwhelmed me, a feeling I had never experienced before. Trembling, I tried to flee back into the warmth of my car, only to realize that the keys weren't in my pocket. Panic set in, my mind racing with thoughts of what if it followed me. With nowhere else to go, I decided it would be best to hide among the tombstones until dawn broke, and thus I waited, trembling and barely able to catch my breath as I watched shadows dance along the walls created by my trusty lantern's dim light source. In an attempt to distract myself from the terror seeping through my veins, I started whistling a somber melody my grandma taught me when I was young. To my surprise, an ethereal voice joined me in harmony, and for a brief moment the air filled with an odd sense of serenity. However, my joy dissipated rather promptly when I realized the music didn't quite sync with my own, leading me to conclude that two different entities were present, with one trying to lead me astray. Immediately, I ceased my musical endeavor, knowing full well that the wrong entity could very well drag me straight into hell itself. In fear, I made haste towards the nearby caretaker's hut situated behind the gates, praying that I wouldn't meet my end within those four walls either. At last, I arrived at the small shed hidden away from view and rushed inside, pausing briefly to make certain I was truly alone. Feeling relieved yet uneasy simultaneously, I collapsed onto a wooden bench, unable to contain my tears as they streamed down my face. Just like that, sleep took hold of me whether I liked it or not. For better or worse, I would need a fresh perspective come morning. Dawn eventually rolled around, banishing the darkness for good. Exhausted yet determined to solve these mysteries, I prepared to head back home for some well-deserved rest when suddenly I heard whispers carried upon the wind. Ears perking up, I strained to listen carefully. Voices grew louder and clearer with every passing second, revealing secrets I couldn't comprehend. Sweat began streaming down my forehead. I felt trapped once again. What did these spirits want from me? They seemed intent on driving me mad, toying with my emotions at their leisure. Despite the chaos raining down around me, I stood firm in defiance, vowing to overcome this hurdle that lay before me. Though shaking with fear, I yelled out loud, demanding that whoever these voices belonged to show themselves. To my astonishment, 3 shadowy figures emerged from the depths of a crypt standing tall, eyes piercing through my soul. I recognized them immediately as former inhabitants of this sacred ground. As it turned out, the whispers had actually been a plea for assistance, a request for me to intercede on behalf of their souls, lost forever within that cursed crypt. They claimed a malevolent force kept them locked away, preventing their eternal slumber from ever being achieved. My mind raced as I tried processing this newfound knowledge, wondering how I possibly could defeat such a powerful adversary. These phantom guardians offered little aid, save for hinting that a weapon capable of defeating our mutual foe existed amidst the twisted roots of an ancient oak tree shrouded in mist, situated deep within the heart of the surrounding wilderness. Without hesitation, I departed the security of my workplace toward this elusive woodland, eager to uncover this legendary artifact, wherever it may lie. Throughout my journey, the dense fog slowly lifted, allowing sunbeams to brighten my passage. Eventually, a sprawling, tangled mass of gnarled branches burst forth ahead of me, enveloping my senses. No sooner had I drawn closer than a blinding light engulfed the landscape. From beneath the bark and decaying leaves, I extracted an ornate crossbow fashioned from solid silver, adorned in intricate carvings depicting scenes of combat against supernatural forces. Hours passed as I examined this miraculous item further, practicing the usage of bolts infused with pure energy harbored within the spiritual bowstring. Confident in my newfound powers and abilities, I stumbled upon the entrance to the malevolent being's lair, a grotesque tower composed of crumbling skulls, rib cages, and other human remains that left a bitter taste in my mouth. Resolute in my determination, I pressed forward, ready to rid this land of its curse once and for all. After scaling the putrid structure's exterior and dodging several deadly snares designed to trap unsuspecting prey, I encountered an immensely potent, corrupted spirit inhabiting the central chamber. Our duel commenced without delay, accompanied by explosive detonations resulting from impacts dealt via divine ammunition fired directly into the fiendish apparition. Alas, even this divine instrument proved insufficient. My arrows met with resistance, failing to penetrate. Time and time again I attempted, yet the creature would not fall, despite taking heavy damage. Moments ago, so full of hope, my dream of saving the tormented souls swiftly dwindled. Realizing death imminently awaited me unless fate intervened, desperation drove me to grasp at any lifeline available. Swift movement captured my attention, and I witnessed 3 familiar specters manifest beside me once more. Whispered gratitude and promises of reciprocal favors were exchanged while gazes conveyed profound respect for one another. Their final parting words resonated deeply within me. Now strike true, mortal champion. Armed with renewed vigor, the enemy finally succumbed before my wrathful blows. Power coursing throughout my veins subsided, and I allowed myself moments to catch my breath, gathering my scattered thoughts. A haunting melody drifted through the air, beckoning me towards a peaceful clearing nestled between the trees, wherein sat a small stone altar shrouded in overgrown ivy. The spectral trio converged here once again, forming a triangle with me. Together we chanted the incantation learned earlier, illuminating the sacred tablet hidden behind the foliage. My heart swelled with warmth at the sight before us, the text bearing a message of love, forgiveness, and ultimately closure. With those last remaining words scribed onto parchment, the barrier binding the tortured souls faded away, leaving no trace of its prior existence. Each and every lingering whisper dispersed into oblivion, liberating spirits from their eternity of suffering. Grateful for their roles in helping others achieve serenity, the ethereal gods bid farewell, then vanished beyond the veil, leaving me alone amongst the quiet solitude of the forest. Weariness consumed me once again, but now I found repose in complete tranquility rather than despair. Dusk descended upon the world as I trudged towards the safety of my humble abode, grateful for the guidance afforded me during my recent misadventures. This night became one of introspection, evaluating personal choices and reflecting upon moral dilemmas. Those musings continue to guide me still, serving as necessary reminders throughout life's endless journeys. One must always embrace those chance encounters and unexpected paths, else risk missing opportunities cloaked in mystery and confusion. Although my mind yearned to dwell on past occurrences and lost companions, life called for action. Faint whispers teased the edge of hearing, prodding my conscience like persistent echoes in a cavernous expanse. Uncertainty crept back into focus, urging me to unravel this enigma lurking just out of reach. Before long, intuition led me to the town square, where a strange man hooded in shadows conversed with my employer. As they spotted me approaching, their exchange halted abruptly, their expressions betraying concealed emotions. They acknowledged each other through a brief nod, signaling a subtle agreement or understanding. It was clear some deeper secret lay entangled within these two figures. Determined to delve into this developing intrigue, I confronted them head. Inquiries regarding this obscure individual received either evasive responses or direct refusals, prompting suspicion within me that I might have been intentionally kept ignorant. The situation turned volatile when the mysterious figure slipped away after offering a single clue about their supposed pursuit of something valuable, an object rumored to possess immense power. I couldn't ignore the opportunity to discover what secrets this object held, nor could I discount the possibility of nefarious intent. Prepared for whatever consequences arose, I embarked on this new quest into unknown territories, hoping to unearth the truth. Yet another path of uncertainty and wonder had opened up before me, beckoning me to tread upon a perilous adventure filled with possibilities and hardships. For just $3 a month, you can have your name featured in my YouTube videos and descriptions. Not only will you be supporting my channel, but you'll also be immortalized in the credits of my content. If you're looking for something a bit more personalized, consider becoming a $25 a month patron. I'll voice your stories and bring them to life on my channel. Create a special drawing just for you, or even write a unique story tailored to your interests. So don't hesitate. Join my patron community today and help me keep the spooky stories coming. And remember, together we can save each other from the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for your support.